What's up, cool kids? FD White. So I want to talk about a coin that has been underperforming, not only to my expectations, but to a bunch of people's expectations that really thought that this coin was going to go to the moon. I do think it does have a future. I do think it will stand the test of times, but I definitely want to talk about it, especially going into the tail end of the year where crypto should be the most bullish, and hopefully this coin can break out. So let's talk about ADA. And I have a vested interest in this because I do hold ADA. I've been holding ADA since 2021. I hold a nice amount of ADA. We'll look at it. I don't like to really show my portfolio that much, but we'll look at it and I'll show you where I want to sell, how much I hold, and everything like that. So without further ado, let's jump into it and let's talk about ADA. Let's start on a daily for ADA. And what I've been looking at for ADA is we were in this huge descending broadening wedge ever since we came from the top last election, and we just been trending down, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. And we finally broke out. We tried to break out once, tried to break out twice. This is the third time we're breaking out. I'm looking at this yellow dotted line. This is the top of our descending broadening wedge. So we finally broke out, and now we have this support level coming in at about 79 to 80 cents, which we're above right now. So we have confluence with the top side of this downward sloping trend line. We also have this horizontal. So if we can hold this 80 cent area, I think we can blast off fairly soon. I think Bitcoin is going to start making its next leg up and possibly its last leg. And then I think we'll get some sort of a run, possibly, like I said, coming up to the back to the top of our move where we started to break down after the election. So I don't have too high hopes for price action when it comes to ADA, but I do think we could potentially have a nice move back up to those highs there. If I take a measured move here, we also have this bull flag that I'm looking at, and I'm taking a measured move from the bull flag. If we break out, we'll be coming in perfect confluence with our yellow line or our yellow area coming in at about $1.22 to $1.25. So that's why I said I wanted to take profits probably at around $1.25. Was $1, but I think $1 is too easy. I don't want to leave that much money on the table. I'll probably say around $1.25 I'm going to sell. And I thought about selling all of it, but I think ADA, has stood the test of times. It has some bullish catalysts, has some big partnerships, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I don't know if I'm going to sell all of it. It just depends on how I feel at the time, how I feel at the moment. I've been holding ADA for a long time, not like a religious ADA guy, a Cardano guy. I do like Charles Hoskinson. I do think he's a very smart visionary. But when it comes to this crypto in specific, I'm in it to make money. I kind of don't care about the fundamentals. I love what he's doing. He was helping kids in Africa and doing all type of other stuff like that. So I do appreciate that. But I think it's other coins that I can have a better return with. And I'm not really fundamentally invested in ADA. I'm fundamentally invested in some coins. I'm fundamentally invested in crypto as a whole. But I don't know about ADA. It'll just, I'll see. We'll see. But like I said, I'm looking at $1.25 to come. We have this pivotal level coming in at 80 cents. Then we have some around 70 cents if we start to come down, but we'll still be in this bull flag. Let's draw it out. So we're still in this bull flag. So even if we came back to range lows, it would be coming in confluence with this area at about 70 cents. So watching that, if we did come down, and if we lose this, it's probably over. Bull market is probably over or once we lose this, because I think we're probably going to come back. Once we lose this 68, coming back down to this 50 cent area, somewhere in this area here, I think the bull run will probably be over for the short term. So this is our line in the sand. I think around 65 to 70 cents, we start to lose that. Then we probably not only have problems in the overall market in Cardano, but in the market as a whole. So this is my target: $1.20, $1.25, possibly if we get really frothy, 130, 140, 150, hopefully. But, depending on how I feel, I might just sell all of it or half of it at $1.25. But this is a target for mine. This is a target for mine that I'm going to sell. How much I'm going to sell will be determined. And I talked to Gronk a little bit earlier, and I said, recent or upcoming bullish news for Cardano. And it gave me a lot. It gave me a lot of things to look at. And this is what made me kind of reconsider my stance on selling all of it. When it came to selling Cardano when that price hit $1.25. It says, one, accumulation surge. Large holders have been aggressively buying ADA in the last week. 70 million ADA was accumulated, signaling strong confidence, or people are just loading up for the tail end of the year. We had some technical buy signals and breakouts. The TD sequential indicator has flipped to a buy signal. It's broken out of its correction channel with bullish momentum, reclaiming key trend lines, which we talked about those. That 80 cent area is a very, very key trend line. And then we have that dollar, which is very psychological. Get back above there, and then we can really start to move. Community and market sentiment, 88% of the Cardano community supports an upside outlook. And community is very, very big in crypto. I know a lot of times we talk about fundamentals, a lot of times we talk about technicals, but you'll see sentiment and community is very big in the crypto space if you're not aware. And you know, these huge communities and these huge cult-like following coins, this is why they stood the test of times, or stand the test of times. And I think Cardano will stand the test of times. Partnerships and integrations. Cardano's Midnight protocol has just partnered with Google for ZK privacy enhancement, boosting security and adoption. Direct Bitcoin integration is enabling DeFi yields on Cardano, while new cross-chain swap with the Near protocol expands interoperability. These tech leaps are driving ecosystem growth. So a lot of people talk about Cardano not doing nothing. Nobody uses Cardano. No devs are on Cardano, but they keep building. They keep building these partnerships, and Cardano is one of the most decentralized and the fastest and the most secure blockchains out there. So you cannot deny that. Upcoming bullish catalyst. This is a big one. Potential ETF approval. They give it, Bloomberg analysts give it 100% odds for Cardano ETF to be approved. And then we have different price targets. Some I-150, 246, 118 to 139, which is where I'm, sort of leaning. And we have some Javon Marks. He must be I don't know who that is. He says $5 and up. I definitely think eventually, but I don't think it's going to come this bull run. And I think we'll have an opportunity to get back in Cardano. Once we do go into some sort of a bear market, if we go into some sort of a bear market, it's very hard to time, and it's very hard to gauge what's going to happen in the overall economy. It's out of control. It's It's hard to gauge time wise. We know what's going to happen, with some of these top coins in the distant future. But kind of midterm, it's a little bit hard to gauge what's going to happen with some of these coins. So that's pretty much it. That's just my stance on Cardano. Wanted to talk about, so how much Cardano do I hold right now? I think I hold so I have about 7,500. This was a couple days ago, so right now I'm probably up at least another 1,000. So right now my total profit in Cardano was $8,081.51. My net average cost is 13 cents. Well, 13.5 cents. I don't know if you can, I don't think you can see that. But so we got in Cardano a while ago. Let's see. When did I get into Cardano? August 17, 2020, I bought $1,545.60 worth of ADA. And now I'm up 8,000%, 522%. So about 5x. So we'll see what happens with that. But we'll keep a close eye on not only Cardano, but the overall crypto market. And Cardano is going to be around. I think Cardano is going to be around. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it'll have a pretty decent end of bull run. But I don't think it's going to be going to those crazy numbers. Not yet. But I do think it will, like I said, stand the test of times. And those $5, $6, $7, $10 price targets that people have, they'll come, eventually. Because I don't think Cardano is going anywhere. I don't think ADA is going anywhere. I think Charles Hoskinson is going to keep building. So if you have a long-term mindset in crypto, a long-term outlook, then, Cardano might be one you want to hold. Before we get out of here, I do have a Telegram, free Telegram link will be in the pinned comments. Let's go back to this. And if you are trading, I do have a $50 deposit bonus. All you got to do is sign up with my link, and then you get $50. No strings attached over on TooBit. You can get up to $30,000 UST trading bonuses over here as well. And like I said, we have a trading, or we have a Telegram where I post all my news, charts, analysis, real-time thoughts, just the market from my point of view, trade setups, the whole nine. So Discord will be up Monday for sure.